I'm gonna be drinking coffee. Should I
Uh,
mute myself when I drink coffee?
no, but I need a coffee and I didn't make myself one. Don't mute yourself when you drink the coffee. That's the whole point of it. Have your coffee. Um,
Well, it's fine.
I need to inject myself with coffee. Theo was up every hour.
Hmm.
Every hour on the,
Why? Please tell me why.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. That's why he went to bed a little bit early.
Oh,
Yeah.
9:30 is early
Well,
for a nap?
9:27. We put him to bed at 9:27. But yeah, he was up every hour and like to start the conversation.
Yes. I'm writing things down, by the way, because I'm a freak.
To start the conversation, this is
Yeah.
how I was awoken at 10:30.
Oh God.
It was David's listening, and I don't care, David. I'm gonna out you right now. But it was, why does he keep waking up like this? And my reaction was,
Fair.
my
Fair
re-
question.
my reaction was, this is what he does every Friday.
It's Friday. That's
It's
right.
Friday. It's Friday night. This
He's
happens.
a weekend he's a weekend warrior.
This happens every Friday. I've
Funny, eh?
No, it's not. It's not funny. It's really, really frustrating.
I find it interesting. I know you don't, but I do.
So
Like why?
when did I go into labor? Friday or Saturday?
Saturday night,
But Friday I was in the hospital.
Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday night was the night.
Saturday night was the actual night.
Oh no, I guess not. Friday night.
See?
Friday night.
Yeah, I know. So it kind of makes sense. Like,
It's a pattern.
does he have PTSD?
No, it's probably just his growth pattern. Like that's when if he's gonna do it, it'll be that night.
Also, like, let's talk about regulated here. Your skin is glowing. Did you have a filter? Have a filter? Is it a filter?
I don't know. I don't know what I've done here.
Anna,
Blur my background,
I have,
adjust my background and
look
effects.
at,
I have a blur.
you don't have lines. Do you have both? Oh, what? No, it's just your skin. You have such nice glowing skin. Look at
I
me.
think it's the lighting.
This
Don't
is
let it fool you.
this is up every hour.
Let's see. Yeah, I just have the blur on right now. Maybe that's why I'll unblur myself and
No,
then maybe it'll reveal my skin.
it's your nice skin. Let's be honest. You have nice skin.
It took many years to get here, trust me.
I don't have nice skin.
I appreciate the compliments, but it's been a while. I also recently had a facial.
Oh, maybe it's the facial.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
facial.
it was really nice.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna blur it again because I can't stand it. Okay.
Okay, so we are calling this, what are we going to call it? The regulated sisters?
I don't know.
Do we vibe with that or drive with that
Oh
or
my
no?
God, I'm crying. Regulated sisters,
Yeah.
not regular sisters.
Sorry, regular sisters, but the concept is that we're regulated regular
We're
sisters.
not.
True, we're not regular.
That's the problem. So
Okay.
that's okay. I thought it was regular sisters, regulated sisters. I mean,
I don't
honestly,
love
let's
that.
let it emerge organically.
Yeah, let's let it emerge. If anybody has any ideas of what they want us to be named,
I
put
mean,
it in the comment.
at this point, I feel like it's just two people who happen to be related having a conversation about the day to day antics that it is to be a human being on
Okay.
this earth, day and age,
Okay. I like it.
November 15th, 2025,
At 9:40.
the start of something new.
Yeah, so me and David had a very interesting evening. And then I guess that's where I want to go with this conversation is
Let's start there.
marriage after a baby.
Yeah, that was our original
At
thought.
first I
And is
didn't want
that
to
still standing?
Yes, at first I didn't want to talk about it because I feel like I don't want to like exploit David, but at the same time, I'm not exploiting him. It's real. I want to talk about it.
Everybody has a part to play. So if you're exploiting him, you're exploiting yourself.
I
Let's
am
be real.
exploiting myself.
Hmm.
Basically, I think where it comes down to is that there's two, maybe there's not two sides and maybe I'm just being harsh about this, but I think that this is hard. Like marriage is hard in general.
Hmm.
baby. However, there's another level when you have a baby that doesn't sleep through the night.
Yeah.
Because it's the anxiety, like before we were about to go to bed, he wanted to watch an
Hmm.
episode of Only Murders in the Building. And I'm like, okay, like I would love to do that. However,
Hmm.
at like 9 o'clock, I was starting to get the anxieties. Like, okay, nope, I
Hmm.
know he's gonna be up because it's Friday night and I'm not enjoying myself. I didn't even enjoy myself watching Only Murders. I don't even know what the episode was about because I was so
Because all you could think about was,
I'm not gonna
oh my
sleep.
gosh, if I don't fall asleep now, I'm only going to get this amount of sleep if I
Yeah,
don't fall asleep now.
yeah.
Hmm.
So like I'm not even present in the moment. And there's the like divide with the marriage as well. It's like he's trying to watch a show. Meanwhile, he's oblivious to what my thoughts are, which is we're not sleeping tonight. Don't you remember? And then he's watching the show and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So there's that.
And
And then,
hmm
then he has the audacity. So I wake up or I go to bed, sorry, and it's not 9:30. I'm just snuggling in. I'm deep in REM, probably because it's been an hour. He woke up at 10:30 and I can feel someone's presence at the monitor. So my eyes just slightly open and I'm awake and I hear Theo crying. And then I
hmm
hear David and he's like, "Why does he keep doing this?" And I literally like I looked at him and I was like, "He
a
does this."
valid question.
A valid question. However, my brain at this point is like, how dare you ask me that when I've been in my REM, number one. Number two, we know he's been doing this every Friday. So how dare you ask me the question? So then I look at him and I'm
Right.
like, it's every Friday. And then he got mad and he's like, well, I don't know. This is what, is there something wrong with him? Like, he can't be doing this. He can't be sleeping like this. Blah, blah, blah. And then we had a huge fight at 10:30.
Right.
So then when I think about it, it's like, no, I feel like couples go through this when they have a baby, but I think it's just on another level when you have a baby that's not sleeping.
Correct.
'Cause in the middle of the night, we want to kill each other.
Right.
And then we wake up in the morning and we try to talk it out and we're still fired up.
But you're also like trying to take care of a baby at the same time. So
Yeah.
you're like having a conversation over here, but then over here you're like trying to do the things.
Yeah.
Hmm. Your time is divided, it's conflicting.
Yeah.
You're, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
what's hard.
It is hard.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like for you, now that your kids are a little bit older,
Yes.
I feel like your kids, they slept better.
Yeah, and I mean, I still had sleep anxiety. Like the way you're describing it, I can feel that in my body. Like I understand it and I felt it. And they slept, but we know that they often will regress. So my kids experienced
Yeah.
lots of regressions like any other
Kid, yeah.
baby, toddler, you know,
Yeah.
it's the nature of it, the teething, the growing pains, the regressions at the certain points in time. Like it we had more of I would assume more of a reprieve. Like the times between those pieces were, for the most part smooth. Like
Yeah.
we would get, we'd go down by 8, wake up at 7 or
Okay, it's recorded. That
okay.
was easy.
I don't know where this recording's
Well,
gonna end up, so we'll have to figure it out. Anyway,
that's okay.
there was more of a reprieve I felt like in between when we not to compare experiences, but yes, you're right. Like my kids slept differently because they're different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there were still those experiences. And when they woke up in the middle of the night, it caused like a lot of anxiety
Yeah.
and
Oh,
like
yeah, it's
the
your
anticipation. Yeah.
yeah,
And the anticipation of them potentially waking up. Like I still don't really know if I fully trust them. Like I
like,
almost still feel
wait.
like I have that
Yeah.
in the back of my mind still all the time.
Yeah.
Like you just can never let your guard down when and like guarantee that they're going to sleep. And I would say one child was more sensitive than the other child, sensitive in way of I could tell when they were going to wake up, you know?
Yeah. I'm like
So
that. I'm gonna wake up.
Hmm. And that would make me furious because I would say, like, I remember one time going out for a walk after bedtime and responded like to a waking up moment. And I explicitly said, please let me know if they wake up because, like, I can't, whatever. And then I came home and it was revealed, like, oh, yeah, they woke up, whatever. And I was like, why wouldn't you tell me? I would have came back sooner because then I would have went to bed sooner because
Yeah,
then we were subsequently up all night.
that's right.
And I can't stand
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you know if they're
Hmm.
up at, like, so for example, normally what he does is he'd go to bed and then sometimes he'd wake up at 12 and I'd feed him. But last night it was not
Right.
12, it was 10. And I was like, here we go. It's happening. It's gonna happen all night long. And I'm not kidding you, every hour on the hour, he was up.
Hmm. There was
And I,
something going on. Yeah.
what is happening? And then I thought, oh my God, is it because I didn't extend his wake windows? Is it because he's
We
hungry
always
and
blame
I'm
ourselves.
neglecting him? Like, what
Hmm.
is it about it that he's waking up? And then
Hmm.
I thought about it, and that's where we fight or like argue.
Hmm.
It's because there has to be something wrong. And I'm like, well, maybe he's just growing in his brain. He's like, nope, there has to be something wrong. Then we wake up and then we discuss it after. But it's like, ugh, it's just hard. It's really hard. And then we don't have time to really talk about anything because
Yeah.
I don't want our whole day to be consumed by the argument that we had in the night. Let's just move on. But then resentment happens. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. We
wow.
can't. Sometimes, like, honestly, sometimes we'll have a discussion. I hate to call them arguments because arguments has such a negative connotation. It's not that
Yeah.
it's a discrepancy and it needs to be leveled. Sometimes
Yeah.
that goes on for 3 days where it's like conversations that are happening, like, before they wake up, and then, oh, they're awake, so now you have to, like, be a family and do the things. And sometimes it's appropriate to say, like, hey guys, listen, mom and dad need to have this discussion, we'll be right back. We're not seeing eye to eye on something, and being as honest as we can about whatever it is that we can, but also letting them know too that, like, you know we can have a disagreement, like, that's okay, or we can have a difference of opinion, and this is how we deal with it, we talk it out. But it took a really long time to get there, like,
Yeah.
because typically before you have kids you can just talk.
Mhm.
There's nobody else there except for maybe some pets and some dust bunnies that are listening to you talk. But, like, when you have kids, now all of a sudden your arguments, your fights are like, oh my gosh, we have little people
Yeah,
like
and then they're staring
observing
at
us.
you. Yeah,
Yes,
he's
and they're
staring.
like, we want this, we want a snack,
Yeah,
we want. Can we watch TV? Can I have to go to the bathroom? It's like, listen,
you're overstimulated. Yeah.
trying to have a
Yeah,
conversation, and, like,
yeah.
trying to make it so that, and, like, that even happens, like, take the argument piece out of it, that even happens, like, in day to day, like this morning. We wake up, get the coffees, get the things, and we're sitting there talking about, Christmas and, like, the things we're gonna hopefully look into buying and the things. And I have to go to the bathroom. So then he has to go and respond. And then I'm like, okay. And then he's like, can you watch TV with me? And it's like, it's Saturday morning. Like, you want to do the cartoons, you want to do the whole vibe. And I'm like, actually, I would like to continue this conversation, and, like, setting those boundaries, even with the kids sometimes, to say, like, well, not even sometimes. It is all about setting those boundaries and being like, mom and dad are having this conversation. You are free to go and do what you need to do. And when we are ready, we will come and sit with you and be with you. Because that's ultimately what we want to do. But we need to finish this conversation, a conversation that long started before you got here. like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're just so easy, and not in a bad way. This. Children are egocentric. That's normal for them to be that way.
It's
It's
like, how
just
dare you think about me? Yeah, yeah.
right. Like, everything is in my life is about me, and, like, I want to watch cartoons right now. Well, it's like, okay, great, but, like, what about everything that was happening before you woke up? Like,
Or
there's
even
just
at
so much.
even at mine his age, he's 7 months, and
Yeah, it's the same.
he's still looking. Like, there was a slight raising of the voice, and I looked over and, like, all you see the eyes just staring, and you're like, "Okay." I'm like,
Oh
"Okay,
yeah,
voice lower."
Yeah.
lower
Well,
the
there,
voice.
and even in that moment, like it's okay to like reassure them because that's their it's all about their survival, right? It's all about their safety and like their survival in that. Like, mom and dad are having a discussion right now. You heard a loud voice because we care a lot about what we're talking about. We're going to work on keeping our voices calmer,
Yeah, yeah,
like and showing them like what is a healthy conversation. And
yeah,
sometimes healthy conversation involves backtracking and saying, hey, yep, we recognize that this happened. The detrimental piece is when you just don't acknowledge it at all. That's the
yeah,
part that, you know, if you just sweep it under the rug and just say, like, pretend like the conversation didn't happen. That's the
yeah,
part that is, it's good to, I guess my point is, it's good to practice now. Your
yeah,
baby is 7-ish months. You have lots of time before that cognitive you know,
yeah,
awareness of say like a 5-year-old is really there, but at the same time he'll feel it in his body. And that
yeah.
it's
That's
good to
true.
like get into that,
I just
you
thought of
know,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
just
good
to
to get
say
into
it,
that
just to get it
that
out. Yeah,
habit or that
yeah,
practice. I would say it's a practice though. It
yeah,
parenting is a practice. It's not something that you're ever going to get like good at or like
yeah,
be perfect at. You might get more comfortable with certain things, but especially if you're parenting in a different way than you were raised, your instincts are going to want to kick in and you're going to want to be like, let's go to the bedroom and like ignore this and not talk about it. And mom and dad will close the door and then you'll hear loud voices and then we'll come out and everybody will be somewhat happy. You don't want to do that either because that's not
no,
not maybe your choice for how you would like to parent. You want to model your, you know, healthy discussions. But yeah, it's
yeah.
hard. It's really hard.
It's really hard. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know. That's what we're dealing with right now,
Mhm. I
and
know.
there's no time for anything.
Recently, actually literally this morning, I saw something online and it was about establishing a safe word.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
don't know if you
that.
ever seen that. So like there's a couple of things we've plunked into marriage after baby that has been or yeah, marriage after baby that like have been pretty helpful. Like, the whole Brene Brown like percentiles. Like I have 20%, how much percent do you
Love that
have? Like
one.
that one's a good one.
I love that
Um,
one.
but literally this morning we implemented a safe word and I
Oh,
explained to him like saw this concept online, wonder and that's always really good about being open to my weird experiments that I'd like to try for, making sure our marriage stays cohesive. So I'm like,
yes.
we pick a code word and then anytime somebody wants to say something really challenging, like you want to provide some challenging feedback or something that might be a little bit sensitive, you say the code word first so it like primes the person with this is coming from a place of love, this is coming from a
Yes.
place of wanting to be connected, not trying to attack you. So it sets up the situation for
Good
success
idea.
hopefully. And I would say it's actually, I mean, literally we just did that this morning because we had to talk about, renovations and we had to talk about, he left the coffee grinds on the counter and I was about to like so I said, our code word's banana. Banana, like it would be helpful
How'd you
if
come up with that? Why'd you pick banana?
Matt picked it. I said, we have to come up with a code word. And he goes, okay, banana. And then I clapped back and I said, that's too common. We say banana all the time. And then he gave me a look. And then I said, okay, fine. It can be banana. That's a great choice. Thank you, banana.
I
But
have to
it's
think
helpful. Like,
it is helpful. I have to think
yeah.
about our code word. I'm gonna tell him that. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Hmm.
However, oh,
Hmm.
okay, no, it's just priming the conversation. It's not hiding that you guys are having an argument. It's just priming it with we're I see.
Yes, it signals to the other person that like I'm about to give some hard feedback that might be you might not necessarily love,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I'm
that's
saying
the
it with love. I'm saying it with
yes.
generosity. I'm saying it with knowing that you're going to take this feedback and it's going to be received in a way that is not an attack on you.
Well,
Regulation, right?
yeah, that's exactly what the fight was about because underneath my anger last night at 10:30 when he was like, "Why is this happening?" And my response was, underneath that was literally I said that to him today. We had a very deep conversation about it. I'm like, it's not even about the question that you asked me. It's you're always asking me why. He has a bald spot on his head. Is that normal? Why is he not sleeping through the night? Why are his arms flopping? why is he screaming and not babbling? Why? And I'm like, it's the why, because I said to him, I also am doing this for the first time. I don't know the answer to these questions. If
Right.
I did, I would be so happy. But I said, the fact that you're asking me the questions like this is so anxiety provoking. I said, is it a question? Because I said, I know you know that I don't know the answer. Why don't we, instead of saying the why don't we say, oh, Alicia, I'm feeling super frustrated that he's waking up in the night. Are you frustrated? And he's like, yeah, you know what, Alicia, I'm looking for validation in that moment. I would give you the validation if you said to me, I'm feeling frustrated, because then I'd be like, me too. Like, but
Right.
if you're asking me the whys, it's triggering because it's like, I don't know everything. I don't know everything.
Right.
Right? And
And then
I'm also,
almost to like validate this for me if I'm interpreting this right. It almost feels like a personal attack on you.
yeah,
As if I know the answers, as if I'm not doing everything to make
yeah,
sure that this doesn't happen. Like
yeah,
I am literally busting my butt every
yeah,
day, watching the clock, feeding him at the
yep,
right times,
yep,
doing all these things, freaking hanging him, by his left shoulder and putting his arm here and doing this because the internet told me if I do this 3 times a day,
yes,
not that you're doing that, but like, you know what I mean? You're following every single thing. You're doing every single thing right
yes,
in your mind
yes,
to prevent this from happening. So when it's like coming at you, like, number one, out of a dead sleep, number two, in that tone,
yes,
your body feels like you're being attacked
yes,
and
yep,
the logic goes out of it, and at the same time too, from his perspective, the crying and the being woken up must also be very triggering for him, because on a good day he's not the type of person that immediately
yeah.
believes that it's your fault
Or there's something wrong.
or that there's something wrong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think honestly when he does, because it's not a slow scream, it's like a
Right,
quick
it's like
scream.
a
Yeah, so we're both like, because it my nervous system is like, oh my God, fight or flight, like what's wrong with my baby? So like it's almost like I actually have never been able to get into a deep sleep without panicking internally. And
yep.
he must feel that way too. But women have an innate like we're the moms, like, and I
Yeah. Yeah,
it's hard to
you're tied to your baby in a little bit of a different way. Your nervous system is literally like fused to their well-being, and not that the partner or the dad is not. It's just I think we could ask them. It might be a different experience, and like I also need to like take a step back and validate that what you're experiencing, although uncomfortable, like it's a dead scream and your
yeah,
body's responding, that's normal. You're
yeah,
supposed to respond that way, just
yeah.
as an FYI, because you're not really supposed to get into a very, very deep sleep, like as if you would never hear them. Like your body is supposed to wake up and respond. So
Well,
the
that's like
things
a
you're
science.
describing, yeah,
Yeah,
the things you're describing are very normal. Is it comfortable and enjoyable? No,
no.
but it's normal.
Very hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Sleep
That was one of,
deprivation is a form of torture in
oh,
some places.
I know.
Like it
In jail. They
well,
yeah,
I don't know where, but like somewhere I've
yeah,
heard that
yeah.
it's a form of torture to keep
It
somebody
is.
awake.
It is
So
torture.
our brains need rest, but there's not enough, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
hard.
I digress.
Yeah. That's the part that we are struggling with right now. I think the
Mhm.
biggest thing is the sleep and like
Mhm.
not even having time to just discuss, because at nighttime it's like, okay, we have to clean up after we eat. We have to make sure the house is like put together before we go to bed. And then we get into bed and it's literally like, good night. Because you're like, I need to
Yep.
sleep.
Right. I came across a concept like probably maybe when I was 2 years in, maybe I can't really remember when. And Matt's a little bit different than I am, of course, but like letting go of some of those things too might help a little bit, or like maybe help you rethink like those things. Like, not that I'm trying to come on here and be like, this is what you should do, but
Yeah.
mindsets that have helped me are not everything has to be completely reset. Like, I feel like you know, the culture, the TikToks, the influencies will say, my closing shift, and they'll have all, I've seen it. They wipe the counter, they do all these things, and it's like, hey, that's great for you. But
Yeah.
it almost makes us feel like we have to subscribe to that. And don't get me wrong, I love a clean house before I go to bed. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's not feasible. Like last night, I'm dealing with my foot situation. So I like put the kids to bed and run into bed. I have my heated blanket on. I'm like, have my eye mask. I'm like ready to like go to sleep. But I'm laying beside a bunch of laundry. So clearly Matt's dumped the laundry on the bed and like is hoping that, because that's the other tactic that we put into place to keep us organized. Like put the laundry on the bed so then that way you can't get into bed till the laundry's
Oh, that's
folded.
so smart.
But I couldn't do it. I was like, I have to get to sleep. Like I am done. So I'm laying like this, like a corpse beside a bunch of laundry. He walks in the room, he's like, hey, I guess I know what we're doing. And then he puts all the laundry in the basket and like it's a tomorrow thing. Like sometimes things just can't get done
It's true.
when you anticipate, because every single moment will impact the next moment. And if you
True.
plan too far ahead, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we have to get everything done. Like I can't remember what it was, but a thing that hit me really hard was like, do you want your kids remembering you cleaning up or do you want them remembering you playing? And I think that there's a balance between that. Like, let me come play with me. Yeah, I got to teach them that like, yeah, we do have to tidy up, but like what is good enough? Like bringing the
Yeah.
dishes to the dishwasher and like, you know, what is good enough? Like, do we need to like make everything spotless before we then
Yeah.
move on to
Good
playing?
point.
Like,
Yeah.
or could we clean it to a point that's good enough? And then, yes, we work together and then we go play. So, anyway, food for thought when you are just trying to like, make this new life.
Prioritize.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're essentially starting over with your life. After you have a baby, everything changes. So,
Yeah.
and it's not for worse, it's just for different. So,
Yeah.
how do you now find ways to navigate it and like what's good enough? Does it have to be so sparkling clean that you could lick it? Or is it okay that like maybe there's a little bit of like splatter and then maybe tomorrow morning because you went to sleep and you were rested and you have the energy, you just wipe the counter tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
little things like that have
Yeah.
helped me shift my
Your
need
mindset.
to have everything like, you know.
Perfect. Yeah. I
hmm
know. Even, yeah, it's hard.
Sorry,
Like,
I talk a lot. I realize that in this.
oh, I'm dying. It's okay. I like that. I honestly think that even like a simple going out for dinner, like I struggle because it's like I know how to put him to bed. I know what he needs when he cries. I know all of these things that not that I don't trust a family member to come here and to watch him while he's sleeping. It's just I know he's going to be up. And I can't handle the fact that if I'm out for dinner with my husband and we're enjoying our talk, I can't handle knowing that my child is not
He's
being taken care of
uncomfortable.
by me.
hmm
Yeah, like, I don't like
hmm
feeling that he's uncomfortable, and not that he would be uncomfortable with a family member, it's just I wanna be the one to take care of him, so I feel like maybe when he turns a year, I'll feel better to be like, "Hey, we're going out for dinner, someone come over because we need alone time, the 2 of us," but as of right now, I don't think that that's needed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
That's fair.
I don't know.
I think that's a whole other conversation, though. I think that's a whole other
Yeah,
podcast episode because, like, that is not now
yeah,
marriage. That is a whole, like, branch of the whole experience,
yeah,
which is,
yeah,
you know, resiliency building and not
yeah,
just for him, but for you
yeah,
and that trust building between you and him and meaning the baby. And, that's a whole other conversation. But yes, I think bottom line, normal for it to happen. Marriage does take a back burner, or it can slip into taking a back burner when you
yeah,
have a baby because of, the science, the nervous system, all of the things that are just hardwired to protect the baby. And it does take a while for you to get into your groove. And I would say that it's not a big, change all at once that makes it happen. It's tiny little micro changes that you sprinkle in along the journey that, and you might sprinkle in, just say you sprinkle in the cleaning situation that I just described, but you find that's too stressful. That's okay. Like just you don't have to be married to any of the sprinkles that you try, or like just say
Yeah.
he doesn't like the safe word. Okay, fine. Like as long as you're
I
committed.
do find, yeah, I find that we really like the Brene Brown, how much percentage can you give? But
Mhm.
during the day, I find we do it more than at night. Like he'll come home from work and he'll be like, "Oh, I can only give 10%." And I'm like, "I can only give 10%." So we're both like, "Okay, we're throwing in at 20% here. Let's do it."
Yep.
But like
And you're on the same page.
at least we know that we're both not coping well for the day, so we know we have to help each other out. I
Right.
find it we could work on that. Like I could say like I can only give 10 right now. I can barely get up to go help him soothe himself back to sleep. Maybe I could try that and see like his reaction, like go from there. I think another thing about this all though is breastfeeding. Tie on breastfeeding and it's like you're because of the fact that he knows that I can soothe him with breastfeeding. So it's
Right.
almost like when he does cry in the night, it's like, well, you're the one that can soothe him. Which, yes, but sometimes we just,
On
you know what
paper, yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's hard. It's hard. And then there's resentment there as well towards your husband because it's like I wanted to breastfeed. However, not everything requires a breastfeed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, and like it also too just and then, again, this is like a whole other side branch conversation because it's more than just that. It's what is your feeding philosophy as
yeah,
parents? Like
yeah,
what, you know, and we know from experience, like sometimes you, especially for a baby that young, you you do need to breastfeed because that's what they're looking for and that's what they're after. You try all the things ahead of time because
yeah,
ultimately your goal is to teach them how to sleep through the night and to be able to
yeah,
settle from, whatever the time is, 7 to 7, 8 to 8, whatever it is. But if you have a baby that young that is still requiring a feed in the night or two, you know, you have your method and you have your methodology for how. But if you have a baby that's waking up every single hour, is it
it's not
feasible to feed them every hour? Like maybe if that's your philosophy and that's your journey. Again, this is a whole other
not mine.
topic though.
Not mine,
And
no.
that's okay. That's okay.
Partially because he has reflux and it would not be good to feed every hour. Like his reflux
Right.
would reverse and he would
Right.
just not feeling how like good in his belly. So I try to avoid
Right.
the every hour feed. Um,
Right.
yeah, for
Yeah, you're
some
not
parents,
opposed to feeding him if he needs to be fed, but is that
no,
the answer every hour?
no, not for
No.
him, for his journey
Right.
anyway. I don't
Right.
blame parents though for or moms that have to feed every hour just to help self soothe, but or
Right.
help them
It's a
soothe.
journey
Sorry.
though, and it's their
Yeah,
cognitive development too, right? Like they're not meant to know how to soothe. And I think that's like the other piece of it too, is that babies can't self-soothe for a number of months. And like
yeah,
how they get from being a baby to being able to like self-soothe is a whole journey and it's individual, right? There's temperament, there's um DNA. Like there's all these and like those are two factors, but like within those factors there's so many other factors that can influence what that journey looks like. So
absolutely.
it's for what works for you, what worked for me is not going to work for, you know, every other baby, even baby to baby. Like my first baby
Yeah,
compared to the second baby,
yeah,
completely different people. They came from the same people, but they're different people. And that
absolutely.
combination of DNA and temperament to create that temperament is completely different. And it actually it I know these things, but it took me by surprise because like and it still takes me by surprise. Like from every single thing, him compared to her, completely different. And it's
Yeah,
enjoyable to see, oh, like, look at these
they're
differences.
different
This is
people.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know why it takes me by surprise every time, though. Like, it's something that I think that we think as humans that was like, oh, if I've done this before, then I've got the control and I can
yeah,
do it. And it's like, okay, yeah,
yeah,
maybe you've done it before, but like
different, different
different
people.
humans. And then
Yeah,
on the other hand, some people have like duplicate babies. It's like copy paste, copy paste. So, like,
yeah.
the experiences are so varied. It's a
My
very,
experience,
very,
if God willing, I have a second baby, I hope we have a different in sleep. We have a difference in sleep
and that's
because
okay to wish that. That's okay to wish that.
I'm wishing
Mhm,
it. I am
mhm,
wishing it. I'm feeling it deeply because
mhm.
I love him. But wow, the sleep is just. It's hard.
Hmm.
It's really hard to navigate. But yeah, no, I think
It's
when
yeah.
when you think about like your marriage, it's there's no book to prepare you.
Mm-mm.
I've read.
No.
I've read the books and there's
Yeah.
nothing that prepares me at
No.
all. No podcasts, no book, no, you just have to go through it.
And again, to our point, every single marriage, every single person and people, we can be describing these things, and you and I are experiencing, like I'm assuming, have experienced pretty similar situations, but there is variation. And like,
Yeah.
how do you capture all the variations in a consolidated format to warn people? Because that's the other bit too. The human mind is always going to say, because it's human, not me.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen to me. My marriage is different, or my experience will be different. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. But you probably, not you, the collective you, will likely experience some variation in your relationship.
Love
It's
it.
going from being you
Just the two of
two
you. Yeah.
to not the two of you. And
Yeah.
navigating that transition is,
It's hard.
it's a journey. It's a
Yeah.
journey. Like normalizing, even just like the journey from being a person to being a mom, that takes years. It's years in the making, but our culture and our society doesn't normalize that. They say, as soon as you become pregnant, you're a mom. And it's like, okay, but I never felt that way. I didn't immediately feel that pull. Like I gave birth 2 days after Mother's Day. And I remember getting texts like, Happy Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, this is lovely. Thank you. But like, I don't feel like a mom. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not a mom. I don't know what this means. I appreciate the well wishes, but I just don't fully get it.
Totally. And
And
honestly,
yeah,
I that's so true. Even from a man's perspective, like a husband's perspective, I remember David said to me, he's like, I think this was like at month 5. He's like, I finally feel like I'm a dad, like I have a connection towards our baby because it's
yeah,
so hard getting to even connect because you're just survival mode. Like he pees, he poos, he eats, he sleeps. And then you do it
hmm,
over and over and over again until like they finally get the personality where they're smiling at you, they're laughing with you, and you're like, oh, they're human. Like,
yeah,
sorry, but this is a human being that's like looking at me, you know what I mean? So
mhm.
yeah, I feel like you don't if both for a woman and a man, it's almost like, oh my God, how do you be a mom, but also how do you be a dad? Like you don't feel like you're
People.
one. Yeah.
I would argue that it expands to like more than just those traditional roles. I would say, you know, person who gave birth, partner that supports that person, and then I would say the people that support those people. Like
Yeah.
everybody is going through a transformation, and it's very fragile, but it's very exciting. And it just
Yeah.
depends on like, the people and experiencing the things. But I would say that there's a lot of uncertainty in that transition for many individuals,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
And
that's
like,
not
when will it
normalized
ever
enough.
get better? No, it's not normalized enough. And when will it get better? Let's be real. Like you have a almost 3-year old and almost 6-year-old, and
Hmm.
you're still working through your code words and your, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it
it's a
literally is.
work in progress. It's like
Yeah.
still evolving. It's still happening. And like
Yeah.
I would say the things that I remember somebody one day at some point saying, bigger the baby, bigger the problem. And I'm like, okay, you could look at it that way. I can understand that a little bit. I would say as the baby grows into a person, the things become different. Like it's not
Right.
bigger the baby, bigger the problem. It's just,
Yeah.
when they're potato,
Yeah.
all you're
It's
doing
different.
is feeding, you know,
Yeah.
you're I think Mother Nature intended it to be that way. You know, the baby comes out, you put them down, they don't move. Like
Yeah.
it's it's you're growing with it, right?
Right, like,
You're
yes.
growing into it.
And have you
So
ever heard the saying, it's like, your mom, so our mom was doing this for the first time too. She's still doing it for the first time. It's
correct.
just a different journey and different spot, meaning you and I are in our 30s and our mom's in our 60s, and she's still being a mom for the first time, right? Like
Correct. Yes,
different stages of different paths of different journeys. You know what I mean? Yeah.
that's right. And I think that's true for everybody going through life, the
Yeah.
dynamics. And that's why marriage, it's hard.
It's just It is hard. And it's not that it's your last priority, but because when you think about it, like your kids are your priority when you have them.
From a
And I
survival perspective, yes.
yeah, I hate saying the thought, like the thought bothers me to think like you're not really worried about them right now, like your husband right now, because I am still like I want to make sure that we're okay and our marriage is doing well and that we're making sure we prioritize each other. It's just really hard when you don't
Yeah.
have a sleeping baby and you're trying to keep them alive all day long. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm. Yeah. I
so
would
it's hard.
describe it as like you're just being stretched so thin. And like
Yeah,
you just have like this giant rolling pin pushing you over,
yeah,
being like, be here for baby, be, prioritize your marriage, be a good sister, be a good friend, like navigate, even just like any relationship, like put marriage over here. What about your just relationships in general? Like,
oh, I
it
know.
is so hard to keep up once you're totally preoccupied by this
Yes,
baby that you're hardwired to pay attention to
yeah,
100% of the time.
yes,
Like,
yeah,
even the fact that we're able to have this conversation on a Saturday morning, like,
that's
let's
big.
just
Yeah,
like, very good, like, yay. Like, it's hard, it's really hard
it
to
is
find
really
and
hard.
carve out the time for yourself, for your marriage, for
Yeah.
anything but the kids. And
Yeah,
so,
and that can
yeah,
we can
it's an
even get
art.
into, like we can even get into resentment about him being able to go to work all day and me being at home with my baby.
Yep.
Him being able to go and play his football when I didn't even get a chance to walk or go to the gym, like, because there is resentment,
Mhm.
but what is that resentment? Like, I would have to dig down deep to figure that out. It's
Yeah.
just it's really hard,
Mhm. Yeah,
and, like, that's okay and normal.
it is.
We're just
It is.
living, going through the motions, figuring it out day by day.
Yep. Making sure that you're staying curious about how you're feeling, which is what I love to hear when you're like, "I have to figure that out." Yeah. Like, I
Yeah,
think the main thing is that almost not taking it for face value, but being more curious about what's underneath that. Okay, like
yeah,
I'm feeling upset. What's underneath being upset? I think it's resentment. Okay, what am I resentful about? And vocalizing it or like admitting that maybe it's something that's not super cute. Like
maybe it's
it
about
might,
me.
mhm, and that's a
Right?
hard part. It's a hard like look in the mirror when you're like, oh, like that's crummy to
Yeah,
think that I am like upset
with
because,
someone else because I can't work out. Meanwhile, I want
or
him to
like
be things.
that's right. Like
Yeah,
you don't want to take that away from him. And like the where I feel a little shamey, like I get the shamies is when the resentment boils down to the kids. When I'm like,
yeah,
how can I feel angry that like,
yeah,
for example, they're screaming getting ready in the morning and like I'm getting upset because they don't care about my life. Like and then it's like, okay, like they're kids. Like they're not
yeah,
going to care as
yeah,
we've described. But
yes,
like it's okay to feel frustrated that yes,
mm,
your kids don't care.
mm,
They only care about what they're doing. And like
right.
you getting upset, as in me, because they don't care is not going to actually help the situation. It's just going to make you more triggered and more upset.
Yeah,
And
yes.
so yeah, so that's a whole other
Other talk.
conversation.
I know, like we could write
Mhm.
down everything we just talked about to make it another
Pew, pew,
episode.
pew. Yep.
So many. I know.
Mhm.
And this was already like think about this. We started this at 9:30, Tiana.
I know.
We could talk for
Does, does this feel like a good place to wrap for numero uno?
yeah, and I think like we talked about marriage, but we also talked about parenting, and then we also talked about like
There
our
was a little bit
relationship,
of infant feeding in there. There was a little bit
infant
of
feeding, sleep,
resentment.
sleep. Yeah,
It's
but like I
all
think
interconnected. It's a
the
Venn
whole point,
diagram of,
yes,
yeah.
and I think the point of this is that like to normalize it. If we're going through it, like other people are going through it, right? And like it's not
Let's
talk.
let's hope and pray somebody else actually feels this way.
I
Because like
hope
we can't be the only crazy birds out there.
no, no, we're not. There's someone else that's feeling like this, but yeah, no, I think that was a good start. Did you love that? I can't hear
How
you.
we oh,
Oh, oh no, now I
okay.
can.
So I was like, what the heck? I charged these.
I need to get my yeah, I hope that my voice is not muffled. We need to look into that. Because if that's the case, I'll be running to Best Buy right now to get my new AirPods. I think I lost them.
Okay. Shall
Okay.
we wrap up? I'll stop the recording.
Yeah, stop the recording.